Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the podcast. Today's episode is going to be placed into the mindful minute sort of category because this is more so talking about dreams. I mean, it could be any part of the pod, but so I wrote about this in my blog. I want to say last year, but I actually never brought it to the podcast. And so I was like, why don't I sit down to talk about what I wrote about in the blog? And yeah, I'm going to talk about the fact that we should never stop chasing our dreams. And that means a lot to different people. So whichever way you choose to let it guide you, that's perfect. For me, a lot of last year and mostly 2022 was, when I graduated, I kind of didn't know, I had an idea of what I wanted and the goal I was trying to strive towards. And so I was kind of in this mindset at one point of, okay, well, this is what I want. How do I do it? And so, to me, that meant just being connected to people. And I mean, all of that went really well, you know what I mean? But I think there came a point last year when a lot of people were trying to tell me, only stick to this thing, only do that one thing. And it just felt like I don't have to necessarily always stick to the one thing, I'm in my 20s, this is the time when I'm going to be exploring what it is I want. And of course I know the baseline of what it is I want, but that still doesn't mean that I can't have room to explore further and discover, my own little passions and things that I want. And so I wrote this post to say, never stop dreaming, as a sign to people that are older, people that are, in a point where they may feel like, I don't know what's next and where to get started. And it just says never stop dreaming, because people are always going to want to place their ideas of who you should be onto you. And a lot of the time that is because they didn't get the chance to do a lot of things that you're maybe trying to do, or they're trying to tell you how to move through your own life, when that should never be the case, right? You should be the one in charge of what you want to do, how you want to make your life better for yourself. And so never stop dreaming to me just means I'm not going to quit chasing what it is I want and getting to that. And I'm also not going to quit exploring other things. To anybody that's in their 20s, their 30s, and even those that are in your 30s, and you maybe feel okay, I kind of know what it is I want, it still doesn't mean you can't explore further. So you should just don't stop dreaming just because someone else tells you that you have to stick to one or two things. We live in a world where there's so many options out there. And with that being what it is, I feel like that is an even better chance for all of us to explore and to figure out what it is we don't like, what it is we love, what it is that really puts that burning passion and fire in you to get up every day and do what it is you want. And even if you're not at that point, get up every day and work towards that thing, right? So that could be different things for you. And I just think that we as a whole should never stop allowing, we should just, first of all, stop allowing other people to tell you, oh, don't do this, don't, you know what I mean? You could be older, you could be around your 20s, you could be younger, but I just think that to dream and to explore, that's an amazing thing, because along the way, I feel you find so many different things. And even if it doesn't become your number one top career choice, it could still be a business you decide to have on the side. It could be a, just an opportunity for you to be able to help pull somebody else up that might be in a position of, well, I don't know how to get started and I don't know which way to go. And so I just think we should all keep our options open. And yeah, maybe you have your number one career that you're like, okay, I worked so hard to get here. That's amazing. And I think, that's always such a great thing to be able to see and to feel. But I also think that while we have our number one career in mind, or we're already in that field, we can still be the people that are like, you know what? I grew up wanting to do this, this, and this. And now you found what it is you truly want and love. And now those things that you always wanted to do, let those be the things you do on the side. Whether it's something you do for fun that just brings you happiness and joy, and something you do just because it's like, this is a self-care thing for me, or whether it's because it's something that you've turned into a business, which is like a side career and a side hustle. I think when people say like side hustles are not like the thing, I disagree. Like, I actually think side hustles are amazing. Like, to build something, whether it's a business or like anything, like just to build those things up, I think that allows you to kind of have more of a chance to grow and engage with more people. And I think that is what makes it all the better. And so I just wanted to say that I wanted to encourage you all to just keep your head up. And people are always going to have something negative to say about what you're doing, how you've been working on things, and your own process, but no one knows your process like you do. And I think that's the one thing I think a lot of people forget, is that you know your process better than someone else. Like, someone else might be seeing you doing all these things, but they're not in your day-to-day necessarily, like looking at you, how you go out into the world and reach out to people and engage and build these things up and find the right people. And I know it's something that can be really like stressful, but at the same time, I think that it's something that helps us to build character and to build up our strengths and to learn what our weaknesses are, like along the way. You know what I mean? Like, it's a really good way to be able to just kind of tap into your own creativity, your own sense of discovery. Like, that's one thing I really love about everything that I do. Of course, I have my number one career choice in mind, but I think at the same time, I still love the idea of dipping my toes into the pool of more opportunities and just sort of what can become of a side thing or just something I do just for myself. And so we should just never stop dreaming. Like, just keep dreaming, keep going, keep creating. Like, you're what you put out into the world matters. And I think people forget to say those things to each other. Like, and especially women, like, this is for everybody. This is for men, women, like anyone that identifies as either or. This is for everyone. But I think specifically women, we have a tendency, and I'm not just saying like, you and one other person. I'm just saying in general, in society of women, I feel like there's always this idea that we have to compete with each other to be the best. And you may not even be going into the same field, and people feel like they need to compete with you. But it's like, as women, I think that this is why we need to build each other up, because I think a lot of these businesses and opportunities that exist, we need more women to be the one running these things. Like, yes, I feel like a lot of the industries, especially in entertainment and things of that nature, I feel like it's majority of it is like ran by men. And I think this is the time where we need to have more women stepping up and being in charge and taking hold of those positions, because it's something different when you get to see fellow women moving in through the world and inspiring younger women and inspiring younger, girls that are trying to come up and discover what it is they want. And so I think whether it's for women of color and just women in general, but just keep inspiring each other, because that's one thing I want to see a lot more of, even in just the world. And like as I continue to grow and learn and expand my knowledge and continue to like develop different things, like I want to be able to say like, okay, I see how we are like showing up for ourselves and showing up in the world. And that's that's like a special thing, you know what I mean? Like that's a really dope way to say like, yeah, people try to tell us what we should do, what we shouldn't do, but at the end of the day, it's like we all have the power in us to create and to put out into the world things of hope and purpose and like opportunities to help younger ones to come up and be like, okay, someone helped me to get here. You know what I mean? And that's a really special and beneficial thing to do and to explore. And I just hope that like that just becomes more of the norm. You know what I mean? And just kind of like what we see more often in society. So that's why I just want to say never stop dreaming, never stop inspiring, never stop educating, never stop like never stop going. You know, we're all gonna have those off days. Like I had a few of them last week. Like I'm not gonna lie. Last week was a bit of a meh week. And so for me it's just like I have to tell myself, how do I create a better world around me, and how do I create a world where I can also help to inspire younger people in general, and you know, girls, like little girls that are coming up. And so I think that is something that is very much well needed right now. And so yeah, I just want to say that. And you know, sending everybody love and positivity and good vibes, and just continue exploring what you desire, continue exploring your goals and dreams and different ways of getting to that point. And I'm really excited because this year I really want to have some special people come on and talk about what they are doing and how they are inspiring people in their communities and educating people. And so yeah, make sure you guys follow and subscribe on the YouTube, so that you don't miss further episodes and guests. And yeah, that's it for now. Peace.